South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. But he died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
The Southern California Thoroughbred Racing Circuit is back at Los Alamitos with exciting daytime racing action through Sunday, September 21st. On Saturday, September 20th, we'll have the running of the Dark Mirage. Showcard won the exciting running last year. On this day, we'll also have our on-track handicapping contest with 2 berths to the National Handicapping Championship in Las Vegas. Daytime racing is back at Los Alamitos, continuing through Sunday, September 21st.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. All righty, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at our studio station, home base, at the South Point Studios, at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex in Las Vegas Boulevard and in Las Vegas. And, of course, at the South Point Streaming Network at YouTube, and, of course, the local radio station we have here in town, Sports Talk 1400 AM, in case you're listening, running around town early. That's our local radio station here. And, of course, we distribute this and have platforms on a whole bunch of others, like our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas.world, global, iPhone, Android, and Google phone with the apps that you can get, the YouTube app or the KSHP app, and, of course, anywhere you get your podcasting. Simply put, however, whenever, wherever you get us, we welcome you to the Race Day Show for this Thursday, almost Friday, Thursday, as we start ramping it up for the big weekend. This weekend, we have like a mix of great stakes races around the country. First of all, we've been talking about Parks Racing and the massive 15-race day they're going to have on Saturday with 7 stakes races that include $2 million races, the Pennsylvania Derby and the Cotillion. So, I mean, you got to, good pay attention there for the $1 million races there. But they got... of the 7, there's still 5 other great stakes races there as well. And then, of course, we got Churchill Downs. They got 4 nice stakes races that include the Grade 3 Dogwood. Gulfstream Park will actually host a Breeders' Cup win-in-your-in race. The Princess Rooney is a win-in-your-in race for the Breeders' Cup. And, of course, Presque Isle Downs is getting started early with their stakes races over the weekend. They're going to have 4 stakes races tomorrow on Friday's card at Presque Isle Downs that include $200,000 stakes races, a $150,000 stakes race, and a $300,000 stakes race. And that's the Masters for 3-year-old fillies and mares. So we got a lot of great stakes races starting. It goes tomorrow right through the weekend. We're going to take a look at some of those stakes races. We've got Jonathan Hardoon back with us today. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Jonathan catch up with us. We're going to go over his thoughts on the Pennsylvania Derby and the Cotillion. But through today, tomorrow, and Saturday, we're going to go over as many of the other stakes races that we have in these big cards. When you take a look at some of the key stakes races and some of the horses that will be running in those key stakes races, for example, Presque Isle Downs, the mile there, has 12 entered and plus 1 also eligible. Among them is that Encino. Encino's back, going to run in the mile at Presque Isle Downs. And in the Presque Isle Downs Masters, there's also a dozen with 1 also eligible. Stormcast heads up that field. Churchill Downs has the Dogwood. The Dogwood will have Echo Sound. Out of 8 little fillies going in that race, Echo Sound, can't wait to see her come back. 8 are entered in that race, as I say. Gulfstream Park's Princess Rooney. Remember, this is a Breeders' Cup win-in-your-in. There are 8 in that race. Holland Ice is the key favorite there. And, of course, on the undercard of the Pennsylvania Derby and the Cotillion at Parks, we have the Greenwood Stakes. 7 go in that race. No Bien Nen Mai is the favorite in that one. In the Gallant Bob, 10 are entered in that race, and Bob Baffert sends out Barnes in that race. Barnes is one of the key horses in the Gallant Bob. In the Bourbon Flight at Churchill Downs, Chunk of Gold was entered in that race. 8 go in the Bourbon Flight. Chunk of Gold is the key favorite in that race. And even at Los Alamitos, Los Al is going to have the Dark Mirage Stakes. 6 go in that. Nothing Like You. Bob Baffert trainee is one of the key horses in that one. So you can see that we've got a lot of the key horses that are trying to make their way into maybe Breeders' Cup participation going over the weekend. So it's going to be kind of an exciting weekend, that's for sure. HISA and Saratoga are getting together now after the Saratoga meet to investigate the 14 horses that died either in training or racing at Saratoga. 14 passed away during either training or racing at Saratoga. So HISA and Saratoga are taking a look at that. This is a normal thing they do, but it was a little bit brow-raising when you think of 14 horses that passed away during that meeting. By the way, 14 horses, same amount of horses, also passed away in 2023 at Saratoga. But these 14 at Saratoga happened from June 4th on through the end of the meet there. So they're taking a look at that, and as they should. On today's show, we've got Jonathan Ardoon back with us. We've got Rich Eng. Rich Eng versus we got a Thursday night NFL game. Could be a little bit, lopsided. You got the Bills going against the Miami Dolphins, the Dolphins and Bills, and the Bills are like, they started off as a 12.5-point favorite. That's a big number for NFL, but 12.5-point favorite. It's been driven down to 11.5 right now here at the South Point. So we'll get Rich Eng's thoughts on how you might want to play on that race, on that game tonight, I should say. Because, even at 11.5 points, that's a large number to be laying in the NFL. So wait and see what he has to say about that, that's for sure. And another another interesting piece of news, the Cary Grant Stakes in Southern California, the Cary Grant, which I do believe that race is at Del Mar, has been renamed now to the Chosen Vron Stakes for the retired California-bred Chosen Vron. So the Cary Grant, Judy, is no longer. It is now the Chosen Vron. Just a few little tidbits of news as we make our way into the show today. Taking a look what happened yesterday in a limited amount of races that racetracks that were running yesterday. Well, Churchill Downs was the number one racetrack, really, of the menu yesterday. And our handicappers did this. Dwayne Colucci came in the fifth race with a selection. An official selection on the show was his fifth race, Corbett's Crush, who did not. Corbett's Crush got crushed, didn't win. However, Dwayne said he was going to, in the fourth race, the race before that, was going to do a rolling double from a horse in the fourth race called Slip Mahoney. If you remember, we were talking about Slip Mahoney, the name of course, a character of the past. And so Slip Mahoney won. That horse paid $6.70. So if you were listening there and you decided, you know what, maybe I ought to bet both horses to win and the double, well, at least you got Slip Mahoney in there as well. Rich Eng came with a horse, and it was a winner in the sixth race of Churchill Downs. In that sixth race of Churchill, Curlin's Gesture wins for Robertino Diodoro and Christian Torres. Bet down from 9-2. This horse was bet down to 3-2 and paid $5 even. So Richie gives us a winner there. As far as any jocks were concerned, Tyler Gaffleone had a couple of winners. He won the first race for David Jacobson, paying $3.74. Came back in the third race for Rodolphe Brissett, paying $8.84. And Edgar Morales had a couple of wins yesterday. Won the fifth race for John Ortiz at $32.38, and then came up in the eighth race for Jordan Blair, paying $8.32. The 20-cent pick six at Churchill Downs yesterday paid $8,768.54. Got to tell you, with that 20-cent base bet, it's kind of attractive to play a little bit of a pick six every day at Churchill Downs, just because of the base bet being only 20 cents, and you have a chance to spread a little and not take a big bankroll to do it. All right, well, that's what happened yesterday. Time to look ahead to today, and of course, not only look ahead to today, but this weekend as well, with all the great races coming on. So don't forget, we got Jonathan Ardoon, Rich Eng, John Lindo, and Jerry J. And your racing menu. All that happens after this. We'll take our first break. Want to remind you that get to the YouTube streaming network, our streaming network, Race Day at YouTube. Get to our site. And on that page, you'll see the chat box that's on the right-hand side. And those people love to chat, and we love to see you chatting away about this great sport of kings. And if you want to participate Just hit subscribe. If you haven't already hit subscribe, it is free. No charge for that. And then you can start chatting away. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
The Southern California Thoroughbred Racing Circuit is back at Los Alamitos with exciting daytime racing action through Sunday, September 21st. On Saturday, September 20th, we'll have the running of the Dark Mirage. Showcard won the exciting running last year. On this day, we'll also have our on-track handicapping contest with 2 berths to the National Handicapping Championship in Las Vegas. Daytime racing is back at Los Alamitos, continuing through Sunday, September 21st.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas, and for the most part, it looks pretty good around the country today. Right here in Las Vegas, 79 degrees, and we're only going to get up to 86 today because it's overcast today here in Vegas. We got an overcast sky. Doesn't look like any rain, but we got an overcast sky today, bringing the temperatures down. So it's a very doable and comfortable 86 degrees we'll get today, 79 right now. And I want to remind everybody that during this week, here in Las Vegas, in case you're planning on coming up over the weekend, we're not going to hit 100. Those, I think, the 100 degrees are gone for this time this year. It's getting into the fall, and we're going to get into really, really neat weather. That's for sure here in Las Vegas. As far as the country is concerned, Miami's 82 with there's going to be a lot of rain down there in Miami. 82 degrees there with the rain. New York is 84, partly cloudy and sunny. Chicago is sunny at 85 degrees. And then, of course, you got Los Angeles, 83. Believe it or not, they're talking about maybe rain coming into Los Angeles in the Southern California area. So we'll wait and see about that. Now, there's no racing today at Los Alamitos, but we'll wait and see if it carries over to tomorrow. 83 degrees and kind of rainy, gloomy day there. And that's why we're getting the overcast, kind of getting a residual of that from Southern California here. And Phoenix, Arizona. Guess what? Not going to be 100 degrees or more today in Phoenix, Arizona. They're 96 degrees today in Phoenix, Arizona, so it's finally popped there as well. So that's the way it looks around the country. And for the most part, it'll look okay for most of the racing jurisdictions around the country. Of course, like I said, Gulfstream Park will probably be off going there. We'll wait and see. All right, here's the menu of racetracks available today in the Racebook simulcast centers and racetracks around the country. Want to remind you, as we always do, the first post times are Pacific. So wherever you're at, you got to adjust from your time zone, if you're not in the Pacific time zone, to it so you don't miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad. First post times are Pacific start times, okay? All right, we begin with Belterra Park. Belterra Park has 8 races. Their first post time is at 9:35. 9:35 at Belterra. Next, after Belterra, if I can separate these sheets, there you go. Delaware Park is next. 9 races at Delaware Park, and a first post time at Delaware Park set at 9:45. 9:45 at Delaware. Belmont at Aqueduct. First race post time is 10:10. Do not be upset if you see horses jumping over fences in the first race at Belmont at Saratoga. Why? It's a steeplechase race. Not only is it a steeplechase race, it's a darn good steeplechase race. It's the Grade 1 $150,000 Lonesome Glory Steeplechase Stakes race at 2.5 miles, obviously on the turf at Belmont at Aqueduct. So the flat racing, as they say, begins in the second race. So the 2nd through 8th races are flat. 9 races overall. That first post time is 10:10 for the steeplechase race, 10:10. Now remember, because they have a steeplechase race in the first at Belmont at Aqueduct today, the pick 5 and the pick 4, the early pick 5 and the pick 4, the early pick 5 will start in the second race, and the early pick 4 will start in the third race today. All right, first post time at Belmont at Aqueduct is set at 10:10. Should be fine racing there today at Belmont at Aqueduct. All right, Horseshoe Indianapolis. They've got 9 races. The last race is a quarter-horse race. The first 8 are thoroughbreds. Horseshoe Indianapolis first post time is 11:10. 11:10 at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Hawthorne Racecourse has 8 races in Chicago. First post time is 12:40 Pacific time. Then we get to Churchill Downs. They've got that little twilight racing program today on Thursday. You know the deal. It starts at 2 o'clock Pacific time, which means the first post at right there at Churchill Downs will be 5 o'clock their time. 2 o'clock first post at Churchill Pacific time. 8 races today at Churchill Downs. That Pick 6 jackpot carryover, again, remember, it's a 20-cent base bet. The Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $61,686 today at Churchill. Again, first post time is at 2 p.m. Canterbury Park has 8 races. Their first post time is at 2:10. 2:10 at Canterbury Park today. And then after that comes Woodbine, north of the border. Woodbine has 7 races. Woodbine's first post time is at 2:30. 2:30 for their 7-race card at Woodbine. Penn National has 8 races. They kick in with their racing program at 2:45. Penn National has a super high 5 jackpot carryover, $22,444. First post time, Penn National, 2:45. Charlestown has 8 races. Charlestown's Pick 6 jackpot carryover today stands at $2,333. Their first post time is at 4 p.m. at Charlestown. And then we wrap it up with Remington Park. 10 races at Remington. First post time at Remington Park today is at 4 p.m., and that is your Thursday racing menu. Let's bring in Jonathan Hardoon. Long time no see, Jonathan. Good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my man. It's the weather's starting to get nice out here now.
Yeah, it's nice in New York today. They had some rain overnight, but not enough to affect the track or the turf course. So they're on the turf. It's going to be sunny, getting up into the mid 80s, but not too humid, so it'll be fine.
You know, this week is kind of a eclectic type of week as far as the stake races, because there's really key stakes races and key horses that are running in several different places. It's not like one place has them all, although Parks Racing decided to have 15 races on Saturday. My goodness. In any case, there's a lot of action, obviously, going on at Parks, at Parks Racing on Saturdays. Some of the big jockeys will be there because they got the big bucks out for grabs, the $2 million races there. We did not have a chance to go over quickly those $1 million races with you, obviously, yesterday, but they have drawn for the field. And just taking a quick look at the cotillion for the 3-year-old fillies, you got 8 going in that race. And Brad Cox has Good Cheer. And Good Cheer, of course, is trying to bounce back with a win. And then you have Scottish Lassie, who is kind of like the now horse after winning the Coaching Club American Oaks.
Yeah, well, Scottish Lassie was in a 4-horse field, so, I don't know how much you want to put into that race. And Good Chase's last race was 1.25 miles. I don't think she wants to go that far, Ralph. She cuts back to 1 1/16 on Saturday. She's clearly the horse to beat. But like you said, Scottish Lassie, 6 starts, she's on the improve. And I would even look for Lacara to bounce back off of her last race, which was also 1.25 mile race. I don't think she wanted any part of that distance as well. Good race, not a big field, only 8 going, but, good chase. The race certainly goes through Good Cheer.
I got to tell you, Jonathan, that 1.25 mile race obviously was the Alabama at Saratoga.
Right.
Now, you said it was a 4-horse field, right?
The race that Scottish Lass is coming out of was a
Oh,
four-horse field.
okay.
That was the Coaching Close Oaks.
Yeah.
Good Chaser was coming out of the Alabama.
All right. Well, LaCara had the lead in the Alabama, and for what I remember was it wasn't a suicidal early pace with LaCara in the Alabama, yet she faltered and finished fourth in that race. And as you say, maybe she doesn't like to go a mile and a quarter, but I would hope that, and I would think that, expect her to be the pace in the race on Saturday.
Yeah, well, Scottish Lassie is breaking inside of her, so she may decide to go, but someone's going to have to give in and let the other one go. They're going to be running 1-2 for the most part, and Good Cheer should just drop in and get a terrific spot there.
Yeah,
By the way, Ralph, 15 races Saturday, 7 pick fours, only 1 pick five, so 7 pick fours.
We were talking about the large breakage, the large takeout, I should say, the large takeout for the races in Pennsylvania. And obviously, Parks Racing is in Pennsylvania. And there were 2 trains of thought yesterday. I thought Jerry Jackowitz came up with somewhat of an interesting angle as far as that's concerned. Now, John Linda was telling us about the higher takeout on a lot of the pools at Parks Racing in Pennsylvania that are there every day, and of course will take place. It will be in effect on Saturday, and saying, you got to watch out as far as players are concerned because the takeouts are high, and certainly I think the rake off of the pick six is kind of ridiculous too. However, Jerry Jackowitz was saying that, as far as the high takeout is concerned, it matters. It might matter to a lot of people, but if you still get the odds on the horse that you like in the race, let's say you like a horse that's 8-1 and he stays around 6, 7, 8-1, it doesn't affect your play on the horse because you're getting the price you want to. And the reason why that doesn't come into effect with CAW is because CAW crushes your price towards the end of the betting cycle. However, Jerry believes that because of the small pools at Parks Racing, that CAW does not participate. However, Saturday is going to be an exception to that rule because a lot of people are going to be betting Parks Racing on Saturday. How do you see it?
Well, I love Jerry and I respect him to the utmost, but he's definitely wrong because CAW is involved in every track, Ralph. You could play Louisiana Downs, you could play Thistle Downs and watch what happens. Even with tracks that have no money in the pools, they're involved. And they're certainly involved in a track that has the high takeout because they can get a bigger rebate when there's a higher takeout. So if there's a 12% or 15% take, well, there's not that much room for them to give a bigger rebate. But when they have 29 and 32% takeout, well, then there's plenty for them to give back in rebate. So I totally disagree with him. Believe me, he's a smart guy. He knows what he's talking about, but I don't think he's right in this situation. CAW does not stay away from Parks. They're definitely involved there.
All right. Then going one step further, his philosophy is no matter what the takeout is at the track, if you like a horse that's 8-1 and he stays around 6, 7, 8-1 or even higher, by the time I guess you have to wait until the end of the race, that it's still value to you because that's the value that you put on the horse that you want to bet.
The takeout's too big, Ralph. It's just too big. It's obscene, their takeouts. See, on trifectas, I think it's like 32%. On exactas, it's over 28%. I mean, I don't think you could overcome that takeout. You could play on one day, obviously. You could play a race if you like. You could play their pick five. Saturday, with only being one pick five, that there may be a mandatory payout. I'm not sure. I will find out and look into it and let the listeners know tomorrow. But they have like 250,000 now, today, their last carryover. So with the fact that there's only one pick five, I wouldn't be surprised if they made it the mandatory payout on Saturday. All
righty. Well, there's definitely a little bit of an argument for both sides of that story, that's for sure. But like you said, Saturday could be a unique type of day at Parks Racing because of the attention it will have, the players that'll be there, as far as the jockeys, the trainers, the horses, etc., and they're going to be
The quality of racing is as good as it gets. They have one day a year. You know, the interesting thing is, if you remember, in past years they had turf races, but due to the weather, it screwed up their turf races the last couple of years. So this year they took the safe way out. They wrote no turf races. So there you go.
Well, I know that we will get into some of the undercard stakes races that have some key horses in it on Saturday. But to complete the look at the $2 million races, the Pennsylvania Derby has 10 in it. And again, it's a purse for $1 million. And you've got some interesting horses in there. You got Magnitude trying to bounce back from his terrible run in the Travers Stakes when he finished third after being on the lead and rather easily, I thought. And then, of course, you got Bob Baffert sending out Goal Oriented. He said the horse is getting a little bit better. We remember his antics in the Preakness Stakes. Goal Oriented and finished third in the Haskell in his latest start. And then, of course, we got Baeza, who doesn't have to face journalism, doesn't have to face sovereignty. And John Sheriff said he thinks the horse fits well. And John Sheriff still has a lot of high hopes for Baeza after he was second in the Jim Dandy. And, of course, he goes and doesn't have to face those two gargantuan competitors he's been facing in the the Triple Crown races.
By the way, John Lindo just texted us, and he said that there is a mandatory payout on Saturday. And that's surprising, because you would think that they have enough handle, they would wait till their Monday or Tuesday card.
Yeah, hold on a second. Mandatory payoff in what pool?
In the pick five.
All right, pick five. Okay, in the pick five, mandatory pick five.
They only have one pick five on Saturday, and
I understand.
there will be a mandatory.
But we got to find out. We got to remember what pool it is. Okay, so what's the deal? Oh, by the way, wait a minute. I'm sorry, I forgot. By the way, Gossiger is in this field too, and he was second in the Haskell.
That's what I was just going to bring up.
Okay, go ahead.
You're a Gossiger fan, Ralph. You liked him the last two times he ran, and he finished second both times.
Yeah.
So, personally, I think Goal Oriented is the right horse Saturday. Baffert has his horse really moving in the right direction. He ran well last time out when he finished third. Gossiger, I believe, beat him in the Monmouth race last time out in the Haskell. But I think Goal Oriented is the right horse for Saturday.
You do, really? You think Goal Oriented is got enough seasoning to beat Baeza in this particular situation? See, I was a fan of Gossiger, like I said, in those races, but I've always thought that Baeza was a little bit better than he's shown so far. And John Sheriff, I have a lot of respect for him as a trainer. He doesn't rush horses, etc., and he'll only let the horse tell him where to go next. And the fact that he's showing up, although it is $1 million race and doesn't have sovereignty or just journalism might be the reason for that. But I tell you, a long shot that I'm going to take a quick look at that I think has a shot, maybe at a price, not so much to win, but get in the exotic, which we're all looking for a nice payoff and an exacta or a trifecta, is Big Truz. He's he's an offspring of Justify. Brian Lynch is a solid trainer. Javier Castellano comes in to ride. And he won the Ellis Park Derby with panache, I thought.
Yeah, but that was a mile race. Now he's stretching out to 1.1 miles for the first time. He's well bred. He's related to a good horse. I don't remember who it is offhand.
Justify.
But, he was supposed. No, but he had a relative. Like
like a brother or cousin or some third generation,
No,
second,
not so far
second
back.
cousin to the right-hand side of the yeah.
The problem with the Big Trust is, again, he's never been this far, and he's going to be trying it for the first time, only in career start number 6. Obviously, any horse can move forward and improve, and he is on the improve. But his last race at Ellis Park was a mile race, and this is a lot longer, 1.1 miles, obviously, and he's never been this far before. His only time was in the Indiana Downs when he didn't run well 2 starts back at 1.16 miles. Just pointing it out.
Just, these 3-year-olds tend to mature at a higher rate than they would normally the rest of the time in their lives, racing lives, that's for sure. But he's by Justify, so I think he'll get the distance if he's right. We'll wait and see, but that's going to be an interesting race, the Pennsylvania Derby, because of all the other factors that we have going into that race. There's not one outstanding big horse, even though I would imagine the Baeza will wind up being the betting favorite in the race. So those are the $2 million races at Parks Racing. But as we have already discussed, there's plenty of stakes races there and a lot of other horses that are entered in those races that are interesting interesting entrants into those stakes races. We'll get into that, of course, on Saturday. We'll try to get as much as we can out of those races as well. But for today, we're looking to build a little bit of a bankroll, Mr. Hardoon.
Okay, so let's go to Belmont at Aqueduct and look at race number 6. And the number 2 horse in here, Bold Endeavor. This is a 9-year-old that was reclaimed last time out by Ilke Kanamasi. This trainer had this horse for 5 races this year, and he actually ran well in 4 out of the 5 races. The only one that wasn't so good was when he ran a 1 3/8. He didn't want any part of that distance. But this horse likes this track. He's won at this track. He's won at the distance. He's won for the trainer. He's won for the jockey, Manny Franco, aboard to ride 7-2 on the morning line. Let's make Bold Endeavor a pick 6, pick 5, pick 4 single in today's 6th race out at Belmont. By the way, Ralph, only 8 races on tap for today, and 7 of them are, thoroughbred races, and obviously you have the jump race to start. So only 7 betting races for people that are not interested in the steeplechase race.
Okay, and in that case, well, if you're ever going to bet a steeplechase race, I think it would be today, because this is a Grade 1 race, the Lonesome McGlory. These are the best steeplechase horses out there. But in any case, 6th race, you like number 2, Bold Endeavor, in the 6th race. And by the way, folks, the 6th race today, because of that steeplechase race, is the final race in the early pick 5 and early pick 4. So Jonathan gives us maybe a singleton in that race. Why not? Yes, in the 6th race, the 2, Bold Endeavor. Manny Franco aboard. IK Kanamasi, give me a little bit on this trainer, because, in the last year or so, been winning quite a few races there in New York.
Yeah, his brother, Mercantan Kaminasi, who trained, by the way, Slip Mahoney yesterday, that won. Mm-hmm. He was a trainer in New York. He took time off. His brother, Ilke, took over. They come from Turkey, these guys. They're really nice people. I know them personally. And one brother is now in Kentucky. He came back to training Merkin. And Ilke is staying in Aqueduct, in Naira's circuit.
Well, they know what they're doing, that's for sure. And let's get them home another winner today in the 6th race, number 2, Bold Endeavor. We do have Churchill Downs running today.
Yeah, we're going to look at the 5th race. And by the way, yesterday our selection that you gave out for me bet down to 3-5.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah, that was kind of yeah.
I mean, why and where did all that money come from? But it showed up, and the horse just didn't run well. But we're going to make amends today. Look at the 5th race, 6.5 furlongs on the main track. I like the number 6 horse in here, Uncashed, a 5-year-old gelding from the Larry Ravelli barn, 1-for-1 at Churchill. This horse is a fast horse. He's been at Hawthorne. He ships back to Churchill, where he won last time out. Rodriguez aboard to ride for trainer Larry Ravelli, 7-2 on the morning line. I like number 6, Uncashed, to win today's 5th race out at Churchill Downs.
Well, you know what I'm going to say. Let's cash on Uncashed. In the 5th race, the 6th horse Uncashed. And again, the 5th race at Churchill Downs is the final race, the anchor race in the early pick 5 and early pick 4. So we got singletons in both of those pools as well. In the 5th race, the 6 Uncashed. Cash and go to the bank with Uncashed, 7-2 in the 5th race at Churchill. You got a full sheet of handicapping both at Churchill and Aqueduct today, right?
Yes, sir. And I'll have parks up on Saturday for people that are interested. All 15 races. JONHARDOON.com. Thank you, Ralph.
All right. Get some rest, Jonathan, with those 15 races. That's for sure. Thanks a lot, Jonathan.
Be well, stay safe.
All right, you got it. We'll be right back with Rich Eng to find out what are we going to do with that big point spread in tonight's Thursday night NFL game. Don't go away.
Thank you, buddy.
There are many families that need your help. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation in their efforts to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children, as well as eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans. Everybody knows where the money's going, every single dollar. God bless you. Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is smoke and fire. This is high stakes and wild cards. This is family and tradition. This is everything on the line. This is it. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas. The South Point 400, a NASCAR playoff race, October 10th through 12th. Get your tickets now. LVMS.com.
Alrighty, back on Race Day Las Vegas for this almost Friday, Thursday. Let's go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, it is that time of the year on Thursdays. We always get a Thursday night football game. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners. And the Thursday games, I enjoy it because Al Michaels is still doing play-by-play with Kirk Herbstreit, and had a chance to work with Al Michaels for many years on the ABC Sports horse racing telecast. So I know Al well, and he's a great guy. He comes across as a very friendly individual, and he is.
Well, all I can say is a darn good broadcaster, too, because after all, don't you believe in miracles?
Yeah, USA, USA, USA.
Yeah, that was his famous line that made him famous, saying that when our hockey team beat the Soviet Union back in the Olympics. Anyhow, we got a lot of key stakes races around the country on Saturday. Are you doing anything extra besides your normal Los Alamitos sheet?
No, nothing extra, but I'll give a tease. I must admit, I really love a horse in the Pennsylvania Derby, but we'll save that. We'll save that for Saturday.
You got it, my man. Great tease. See, that's your background in television. Great tease there, that's for sure. But what about tonight's game? I mean, it started out at 12.5. Right now here at the South Point, the spread is 11.5. Buffalo favored by 11.5. But the old saying, at least the old saying in the NFL, was never lay more than 10 points. What's the deal now?
Well, when I sent my pick over to Sean, I got 12. But, the thing about sports betting, which is different than parimutuel horse betting, is that if you go from shop to shop to shop, you can get different prices. And so at the South Point, it's 11.5. I did get a 12 at another book. It remains unnamed. But I'm going to hold my nose. I'm going to put a clothespin to my nose. I'm going to bet the Miami Dolphins plus the 12, plus 11.5 over Buffalo tonight. There's a couple angles in play for me, and the fact that, Miami in the opener, they just got absolutely smoked by the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
But they actually played a really good game against New England. Tua and the Dolphins had the football last. Unfortunately, they could not generate a game-winning touchdown drive like Jake Browning of the Bengals, so they ended up losing by 6. But the Buffalo Bills are 2-0. They had that unbelievable game against the Baltimore Ravens to start the season. But, one thing about that game that I think opened up eyes for a lot of coordinators, Ralph, is the fact that the Buffalo defense is vulnerable. It's not a generational type defense. And even though they held the Jets in check last week, they only gave up 10 points to the New York Jets. The thing is, you still need a decent quarterback to move the football. And I'm not a big Justin Fields fan. So we saw what Lamar Jackson could do. Justin Fields couldn't duplicate it. But I think Tua, for the Miami Dolphins, should be able to move the football against that Bills defense, which is also banged up. They lost 2 starters last week, Ralph, the middle linebacker, Milano, and another kid. So I'm going to hold my nose and do the plus 12 because, one thing about a big number like that, Ralph, it opens up the backdoor cover. So, for example, if the game is like 31-14 Buffalo with about 3 minutes to go and they punt the ball to the Dolphins, there's always a chance they could drive the length of the field and all of a sudden score a garbage touchdown. But Al Michaels knows what it means if the Dolphins were able to make it 31-21.
All I can say is that, with Tua back there and Miami was so lethal not too many years ago that, even if Buffalo gets up, I think they're, like you said, because they had a couple of injuries last week, that if they're going to get up by that far and they're getting late in the game, they might start taking their starters out, not to risk getting them hurt in a junk play. And like you say, that's where you get the backdoor cover. So we'll take Miami and all the points they want to give us. All right, but we need a horse for today.
Yeah, I'm on a two race win streak,
Yeah.
Sunday and Wednesday. Let's go to Canterbury Park up in Minnesota. Race number 6 is a mile on the grass. I'm going to take the rail horse, number 1, Rose View, with leading rider Harry Hernandez riding. This horse was claimed by the trainer Arnett for $25,000 at Tampa during the winter. And quite frankly, this horse was terrible at Tampa. And then he gave the horse 60 days off, came back at Canterbury. But if you take a look at the racing form, the last 3 races have all been really good. And this is a good spot to run another good race. So let's go at 5-1, number 1, Rose View in the 6th.
6th race at Canterbury Park. Number 1, Rose View. The 1 in the 6th at Canterbury is Rich Ang's play. And, of course, he'll be back with a Los Alamitos sheet tomorrow when Los Al resumes racing in Southern California. And we'll sit down and enjoy the Thursday night game and hold our nose, I guess, Richie. But in any case, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, John. Good luck, everybody.
We'll be back with John and Jerry. Do not do it. Don't go away.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style Paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
Are you ready to lock in your bets and cash in on the games this weekend? Join Jeff Parles and Alex White.
One of my favorite plays here is getting 2 touchdowns with Florida State.
Even though the total's been batted down a little bit, I still think it's okay to go under.
Chris Andrews and Vinny Magliulo.
I don't think this is a great Kansas City team. I think the Chargers win this game.
All right.
If you see a hook here, it's not going to last long.
The wise guys are certainly not going to play the favorites.
Every NFL matchup, every college game that matters, the spreads, the stats, and the smart money plays.
Are we sure either of these quarterbacks are good?
Hell no, we're not sure.
Bet your winning edge with Football Frenzy, streaming live on YouTube every Friday at noon Pacific.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All right, back to wrap up this Almost Friday Thursday show. And all I got to say is let's get to Southern California where John Lendo is at. And John, is it raining there?
Good morning, Ralph. It did last night about 2:30 in the morning. It's cloudy here. We're expecting some showers off and on today. It's really muggy, so we'll see how it plays out today. No racing, obviously. The main track is closed at Santa Anita. No training on the main track there. And because they sealed it last night, that means they won't work on the main track tomorrow as well. So, yeah, a little bit of weather. I guess the fall's coming here.
Los Alamitos, I would imagine the training's still open there in the morning, though?
Yeah, they're open for training, I think. And there hasn't been enough rain to make much of a difference. Even if the track's open, I would assume that it's fast this morning.
Okay, update on the jockey trainer standings at Churchill Downs today, because you do have a Linda report covering the last 5 races at Churchill Downs in the late pick 5. That's available here at the South Point free of charge. The Linda report for the late pick 5 at Churchill Downs right now here in the only place in Las Vegas, in the gaming capital you can get it, is right here at the South Point free of charge. The Linda report for Churchill today. What about the jock standings there? It's been a brief meet so far.
Yeah, just a few days into the meet, Tyler Gaffalione is your leading jockey at Churchill. He's got 10 winners.
Wow.
Jose Ortiz is second with 7, and Luis Saez is third with 6. As far as the trainers go, there's a 4-way tie for the leader there. Jose D'Angelo, David Jacobson, Norm Cassie, and Tom Amos. They've each got 3 wins. So, again, very early in the meet. And for you, Ralph, favorites have been their 4% so far at Churchill Downs.
So the favorites are winning at 44%, you say?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll get it back down to where it's in the 30s, etc. You have a suggested late pick 5 today, and it looks like a good competitive races. This thing might pay well.
Yeah, the back half of the card has got good field starts. It's starting with that 4th race, which is the beginning of that pick 5. It's a 50% bet, a 50-cent bet, 15% takeout. So it's a player-friendly wager.
And I got to tell you, even at the pick 6 at 20 cents away, you can throw a couple of bucks in there and see if you can grab an extra horse at the beginning of that, before that pick 5, and try a little bit of a pick 6 for 20 cents. It doesn't cost you much to participate.
And you can go the other way too. They have that $3 late pick 3 that started at Santa Anita and Del Mar, and that's a 15% wager as well. So those are to try and keep out some of those CAW wagering groups. So that's again a fan-friendly wager if you like to do that type of wager.
Yeah, that's a good little pot to get into as well. So we got a chance at the late pick 6. If we miss that, we can go to the late pick 5, and if we haven't missed that, we go right to the pick 3. It's a great deal, that's for sure. And we're gonna get a pick from you though today at Churchill.
Go down to the 8th and final. Remember, 2 o'clock first post time today at Churchill Downs. In the 8th race today at Churchill, number 9 Mo Quality comes back off the layoff. He had tried to get on the Derby Trail during the wintertime. He's not a router, so he cuts back to a sprint today. Gets Lasix for the first time. There's some speed in here. I think he falls into a good outside stalking trip. 9-2 on the morning line. He gets to do what he wants to do. That's number 9, Mo Quality. Race number 8, Churchill Downs.
All right, the race 8 at Churchill, number 9, Mo Quality. The 9 with Jose Ortiz aboard. The 9 in the 8th race at Churchill Downs. That's the final race on the card. And we'll go home a winner with that. John Lendo's pick is the 9 and the 8th at Churchill. And don't forget, he's got the late pick 5, a Lindo report available right now here at the South Point. And John, again, what you're doing with the Lindo report over the weekend?
We'll keep doing the pick 5s at Churchill, and we'll do the closing weekend in Los Alamitos. And Ralph, real quick, the longest card of the week is not at Parks on Saturday. It's today, coming up shortly. Today they run the Little Brown Jug at Delaware Park.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a 20-race card there today.
Yeah, they started early yesterday morning. When we were done with the show, I went up to the book, and they were already running the races there. But it's that's a fun place. That's a very unique situation with the Little Brown Jug. It's really a lot of fun.
I got to go one year. It's a great race to go and be a part of.
Yeah, people go out there. They bring their barbecue equipment and all that. They barbecue out there and everything. It's just a fun thing, that's for sure. All right, thanks a lot, John. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
You got it, Ralph. Good luck today.
And we go to Jerry Jack. Let's see, he's got his Raiders cap on today. Jerry, good morning.
Yeah, it's like I said yesterday. I thought they played a really stout game. They were a little outclassed. That's what happens. Which leads me real quickly. I see we have a minute to discuss the word resulting, which I use. Yes, it's not an insult. It's a way of describing the way someone views something. A lot of people, they start their analysis after the event occurred. And when that happens, they're emotionally charged to the positive or the negative, and it affects the way they analyze things, and it's not a good way to analyze. You have to analyze it beforehand and accept the good or bad results for whatever they are. So, for example, in horse racing, we may bet a horse who runs really good early on, gets involved in a speed duel. Maybe he's down on a rail that we know is not good that day, and we say the horse ran badly, but really he ran very well, but he had very difficult circumstances. So we analyze what happened. We don't analyze the result. What happens is you end up getting to bet that horse back at double-digit odds because other people are resulting.
Very good observation and a very good explanation of resulting. That's for sure. Let me ask you this. When you start analyzing and getting ready to play a race, do you do you wait a day and then come back afterwards and take a look at it again and say, okay, this is what I'm going to finally set my opinion on?
I've been doing this a long time, so I don't kind of get caught up in that. But first of all, most of the work I do is in reading charts. It's not based on my visual. It's really based on the race call, what the race callers say. A little bit on my visual, but and my visual certainly got me in trouble with fierceness this year. It's probably a good example of where I overrated my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
and it cost me understanding him going into the Pacific Classic. So, I mean, it happens to all of us. But basically, I'm reading charts. I read the charts of the day, and I form my opinion based on that. And,
Okay.
you know, if I see, for example, I'm reading the charts, race after race after race, and there's not one horse on the rail the whole day, I have to assume that the rail. I mean, there isn't one winner who came
fully
on.
Understand all of that, Jerry, but we have 30 seconds to get your play at
Okay, let's go to the 8th. We're on the turf. I thought there was plenty of rain yesterday, so I figured they would take a couple off the turf.
Mm-hmm.
But I did this for the turf. Haute Couture, the 6 horse.
Okay.
Really looks it's a roan. Looks fantastic to me today. Looks like a total turf horse and better than these. I like the 6 over the 2, 3, 4, 8. Reverse 2, 3, 4, 8 back over the 6. 3 to 1 or better, and I'm into a good win place bet here.
Okay, 8th and final race today at Belmont Park. The 6 is your play. The 6 Cat Couture, or Couture, I should say, the 6 horse over 2, 3, 4, and 8. And reverse, just in case he's a little bit wrong, you might be able to get more out of the reverse, right, Jerry?
That's true. And
All
by
right.
the way, there's 3 star horses in this play and in this race.
All right, you got it, my man. In any case, get all of the rest of the Power Page right now at jerryjspowerpage.com. We wrap up this Almost Friday show by reminding you that when we get back, it will be Friday. And in the meantime, Jerry, as always, has one more thing, the last thing to say. Jerry?
Have a great race day, everybody.